You know, one of the first things that we realized when we moved to Rochester is that it absolutely is a family-friendly area, from the parks to the cost of living to everything else in between. And in this one, I'm not only going to show you a neighborhood that I think is absolutely amazing, I'm also going to show you a model home and cover every single topic as to why so many families are flocking to Rochester every single year. What's up, guys? Kagan here, your favorite real estate agent, and the biggest thing that obviously has to be talked about is the home prices. Right now, Rochester's home prices hover on $160,000 to $175,000, obviously making it so that more and more families have that affordability factor taken into account. Now, we have a few other things that we're going to talk about, from the schooling to the education to the economic boost that's all around. But more than anything else, when you are making that journey and you're traversing anywhere, the prices will 1000% affect everything. But at the same time, this isn't all sunshines and rainbows. When we think about the days on market, right now, homes are hovering for around 12 days right now. We had a client of ours, Jenna, reach out to us from Seattle. And when we told Jenna that the home prices were absolutely on the lower end, they weren't really sticking around, she was shocked. You see, in other markets like Dallas, even California, and some parts of Miami, that's absolutely not the case. Homes are sitting for months on end. But here in Rochester, that just does not happen. And it's not just Rochester. One of the biggest transitions that we're seeing is more and more people are coming to these smaller markets. Toledo, Ohio, Detroit, and even Buffalo and Rochester are absolutely growing in population. And juxtaposed with this, one of the biggest caveats is right now, Monroe County had a 23% decrease in overall inventory, meaning that home prices are low, but there's not that many homes to actually sell. So when you are thinking about making a move to Rochester, whether it just be yourself, whether it be your wife, family, growing a family, obviously take all these factors into account, because as more and more people obviously traverse here, less and less homes become available because more and more people are coming. You know, when we made this journey to Rochester, one of the biggest things for us was finding that safe and affordable neighborhood. We eventually landed on Gregory Street according to the International Organization of Migration, moving on to Manor Parkway, and then finally we bought a house in Henrietta. Now, we're looking at some rental properties over on South Wedge and the 19th Ward, but when families are looking to make that move here, specifically for the schools and specifically for the education factor of it, they look at a few specific neighborhoods. First and foremost, they're looking at Pittsford. With both Mendon and Sutherland absolutely being some of the best schools in all of the country, they know that when they're going to school, they've got the educational factor taken into account. But it's not just that. One of the biggest things about Pittsford that makes it so unique is the fact that you've got that canal right there. You've got the bakeries in nearby proximity, and on top of that, you've got library and overall just a vibe that a lot of people really enjoy. Pittsford isn't just a neighborhood that you kind of live in. You are going to meet your neighbor because it's such a small area that you absolutely are going to be in proximity. One of my favorite things to do, especially when we were in high school, was go to Project Lean Nation right there next to McQuaid. And also we'd love going to the 12 Corners. Why? Because they had Bagel Land, some of the best bagels in all of Rochester. They also had Panera Bread, and they had Starbucks. Heaven. One of the closest things in terms of proximity to this place is Brighton High School, one of our massive rivals. But Brighton isn't just a location that people are conglomerating to, they're absolutely flocking here. Families, when you have children, I mean, you want someplace safe and affordable, maybe not up at the echelon of Pittsford, you've got Brighton. With homes that are just a little bit on the cheaper end compared to Pittsford, it absolutely is a location that I see more and more people making that move to. Now, look, guys, I'm not saying live here or live there. What I am saying is when hundreds of people are reaching out to us to make that move to Rochester, these are the locations that they ultimately end up choosing and residing in. And if that's the case, that's the case. Now, if you are thinking about making that move to Rochester and you're thinking about where specifically you should go, there's 10 things that you should do, but I'll handle the 9 when you just give us a call. I'll put our QR code right here and we'll go from there. But the third neighborhood that absolutely is beautiful for families, it's got to be Ronnequoit. You see, East and West of Ronnequoit have this massive rivalry. One of the coolest things about living there is its proximity to Lake Ontario, and the schools are actually really good. You get a ton of green natural parks. You've also got more affordable housings in both Brighton and Pittsford, and it's an area that I see a lot of people continuously going to. From mom and pop shops to just some place that a lot of kids get to hang out, it's something that a lot of people are absolutely migrating towards. Now, look, guys, you can live anywhere that you want in Rochester, and I've done a video on Webster and Henrietta and everything else in between. But when we are helping our clients, these are the locations that we're seeing a lot of people actively make that move to, and for good reason. I think Rochester, especially with the Micron project and with every other project in between, is seeing a lot of development and a lot of growth, and I'm excited to see what specifically happens in 2025. You know, one of the biggest things that a lot of our clients tell us after they lived here for 6 to 12 months is Rochester is known for its proximity. Now, from the Genesee River to Highland Park and everything else in between, there's always something here for someone. Now, when you're thinking about obviously what specifically to do, we've also got Canandaigua Lake that's 100% legit. On top of that, you got a wine tour there, which obviously I know you'll love, but there's always something to do for everyone. When we go and we want to watch some football, we've got the Buffalo Bills. When we want to watch some college basketball, we've got Syracuse. I think one of the biggest things that makes Rochester so unique is it's a proximity play to all these fantastic locations with the affordability of, well, Rochester. Now, take Highland Park, for example. It's not just a place with trees and rustic vibes, it's a location that people are going for, honestly, for a show. From the frolics and the beautiful lilacs in the spring, the golden foliage in the fall, there's honestly always something to do. When you're thinking about what specifically exists in Highland Park, you've got, number one, the Lilac Festival that happens. Also, you're gonna see a ton of artisans actually sing, dance, and just revive the location. Super awesome because you get to share the beauty, the wonder, and overall the simplicity. When we talk about Xerox, a lot of people tell us, oh my gosh, Xerox is done for and everything else there. But one of the craziest things that people don't know about is the data centers that were built underneath Xerox. And it's not just Xerox, our economy is absolutely growing, right? From companies like Wegmans to Paychex and everything else in between, we absolutely have a diversification in different sectors. One of the craziest things that people don't know about is our education is top notch. From University of Rochester, that not only has undergrad, but they've also got a medical school in conjunction with Strong Hospital, to RIT that has one of the best technology programs that we know. Schools like Monroe Community College are ranked as one of the best schools in the entire country. So when you are thinking about making that move to Rochester, just know this, you've got the diversification in jobs taken care of. Now, granted, one of the biggest things is right now, especially in this economy, they're really not hiring, but if you're capable and you've got the thing, you've also got a job position available, and you know that you're solid. Now, let's go take a look at this model home. It's in Chile, next to Henrietta, and about 15 to 20 minutes away from Pittsford. It's absolutely gorgeous, and you know what? Without further ado, I'm gonna take you there right now. All right, guys, let's take a look at this property. This is gonna be the Clarion on Churchville. This is a Faber-built home, and obviously, as you can see from the design alone, it's absolutely gorgeous. We're gonna go take a look at the insides, take a look at everything, but first and foremost, just look at that door. That finish is beautiful. The first thing that you see, especially when you come in, is just this open concept, open floor plan. Now, we're gonna get a little bit into this one. This room could be transformed into a workroom, could be a family room, maybe a child room. There's hundreds of different options that exist, and I think that's one of the things that makes it super unique and super awesome. This one is also available for immediate move-in, so that means exactly as it sounds, right? Immediate move-in. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. I think it's around 3,200 square feet. It's an open foyer, right? It sits next to a large flex room, which is really, you can have any kind of thing for. Now we're looking at the open floor plan here. You can see the kitchen, you can see the living room. And my favorite part as we start diving a little bit closer into it more than anything else is you're gonna see this wooden fireplace action that I just absolutely love. Obviously, we got to open up the cabinet and see how big it is, right? It's just kind of like a vibe at that point. But one of the super duper nice things about this that I personally really like is the fact that it's got its own dinette, its kitchen and morning room, and everything is in just close enough proximity. You've got a little wine cellar as well there, which is there for those fun nights. And the nice thing about this too, especially with the community, which I'll show you guys in just a little bit, but it's built right next to Beaver Road off of Chile, right? It's Rose Hill Estates, and it's in such a close proximity to the University of Rochester, to RIT, to Price Right, Wegmans, and really every kind of amenity that you could look for in the Churchville-Chile district as well. This is pretty dope right there. Now just look at how open open that floor plans. Now that we've seen that, we're gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna first show you the owner's bedroom. That's one. Now we're gonna get into the suite. So this is gonna be both a bathroom and also it's gonna have a walk-in closet as well. I'm gonna turn on the lights now so you can see it. Beautiful paint. Just look at that finish. That stone finish is just beautiful too. I'm a huge fan of it. I tried turning on this light. The light wouldn't work, so it's kind of my bad, but really more than anything else, it's their bad. Gotta make sure the water's running. Hello. Now we're gonna go take a look at these Jack and Jill bedrooms. Essentially what that means is it's two bedrooms that are connected by a door, and this bathroom is going to be that connecting factor as well. Personally, I'm just a huge fan of the paint. Like, I think this paint was a beautiful job. You can just see the craftsmanship on it. And look at that massive walk-in closet. Hello. Here, the door has obviously its privacy, and then you've got both a bathroom and then a shower as well. And what's nice about this house too, especially because we showed it to a client of ours, they were moving here from North Carolina, and they love the fact there was a 3-car garage, just because they've got a daughter, she's turning 17, and they're planning to buy her a car, so they're like, hey, we need the space. I was like, I totally get it, like 100% it makes sense. The garage for this one is being used as it's used as a office space for the people that work there, but it totally is just, it's a massive garage. Beautiful closet space as well. I wish that was a real dog. Oh man, I was surprised. What's super nice. This is again the first floor master bedroom. I'm a huge fan of that, especially if you have elderly parents or anything of that nature. You're hurt and you just don't like going upstairs. This is a wonderful solution to it. Super spacious. Again, you're seeing all the closet space, you're seeing everything. I'm gonna take you downstairs now so you can get a different perspective and then kind of see what that looks like as well, because downstairs, the basement is absolutely massive. I mean, just take a look at this. Look at how much space it is. It also has its egress windows, and essentially what that means is to be counted as livable space, you need to have a window in which it's big enough for people to actively live and move in case anything happens. A lot of the older insulated windows, especially if you see, were very tiny, right? It was kind of like a prison-y window. It was super duper small, but these ones aren't. Like, they're super big, and that's done for safety purposes now. I'm gonna show you a furnace. Now let's take a look at the neighborhood. It's absolutely beautiful. This is the Foxshire neighborhood. I don't have too much footage of it, but it's just me and my car. You can kind of see what the homes look like, kind of see what the neighborhood looks like and the vibe overall. And that's what we got there. Let's get back to our regular time program. One of the videos that I'm going to make next is actually talking to our clients that made that move here and really asking them for their insights. Because when they are making that move, one of the biggest things that they're telling us more often than not is really that every single area has kind of its own microcosm and kind of its own vibe. For example, if you're living in East Rochester, what you're getting kind of a hipstery area. Places like the east side of the 19th Ward is kind of a party location where you're close enough to the University of Rochester. Suburbs like West Henrietta and really just Eagle Park, a specific neighborhood in there, it's very old and rustic. Pittsford is for that family that's looking to network, that's looking to grow, and that's looking to make more friends. One of the most unique things about Rochester is really every location has its own subset of people and subset of things. And that's why it's so important that you reach out to a local agent that knows the market, that knows everything about what's going on here, and ultimately can help you make that journey. Put our QR code right here if you are looking to talk or if you're thinking about making that move to Rochester, whether it be now or in 90 days. I'm super excited about what the future holds in Rochester. 2025 isn't just going to be a year in which we've got some projects here and some projects there. It's going to be a year where a lot of massive growth and a lot of massive movement actually happens. You see, I'm excited for what 2025 has to bring, and I'll make sure that we cover every single one of those things. Now, if you are thinking about making that move to Rochester, New York, you should watch this video here. See you soon. Bye.